This is like our second one, so we're
All right.
learning.
So we'll call the Ulen Town Council meeting for July 22nd to order. First order of business is we have a guest discussion about the status of the sewer and the implications for the town of Ulen. So we have the Westler Engineering Group with us today. Hey, would you like to introduce
Just
yourself?
take a second. My name's Tyler Graves. I'm with Westler. I've been there about 14 years, been a partner about 9. For us, just think of us, we're a civil engineering firm. We do wet side only, so it's gonna be water, wastewater, stormwater, everything from, the airport. We do all the stormwater out there, all the way down to Ellettsville, Indiana. So it's all in between. About 130 people in 2 states. We'll turn 50 this December, but we don't do roundabouts, we don't do bridges, it's gonna involve the wet side of engineering. Which is what brings Brad up here to Lebanon, as a client. They've had us take a look at the system, and some of that system information is going to involve your town. So, I'm happy to answer any questions. It's not, maybe not that exciting and not that hard to understand at the same time, but we do engineering services, all the permitting that's associated with that. Cybersecurity for drinking water plants, structural engineering, although they're only gonna really work on our projects. They don't get hired by outside, communities or other firms, but. Proud to be here. Thank you for having us in. Brad's enthusiastic. He knows his stuff. He's been doing this a long time, and we've done smoke testing all across Indiana and now Ohio for a long time. So Brad, I'll turn it over to you. You can share what you found.
Okay. Had the pleasure of meeting Mary when we were doing the smoke testing. I'm Brad Robertson. I've been with Westler 18 years. I'm the head of our field service department, which includes the smoke testing, which is what Lebanon hired us to do. And Mary had asked me tonight to come just to kind of briefly talk about our findings. We did print off, this is what's gonna go in the report for Lebanon. But we went ahead and.
Can we ask you, do you know what smoke testing? Yeah, I know some of you are familiar.
I'm super familiar now. Okay.
Everybody's familiar. Just want to make sure you understand why, what the process, the concepts behind it.
You want to go ahead and just explain?
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be
Just a
great.
quickie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, we've got there's a picture of it. It's a Honda motor, just like you see on your lawnmower, and it's on a fan. And we pump a liquid smoke onto the manifold, and it creates a abundant amount of smoke, as most of you've seen. And that will basically, our theory is where smoke's coming out, water's getting in. That's the whole theory behind smoke testing. So we found, I'll go through it here in a minute, but basically the storm inlets, the downspouts, broken mains, defective sewer laterals, that's mainly what we're after.
A lot of communities will hire us because ultimately at that point, when you have that rainwater coming in, and Brad has found them in creek beds where pipes busted, so every time it rains, you're using tax dollars to treat rainwater. And rainwater should just be in nature, not, so, chemicals and everything, your flow at the plant, it costs you a lot of money. So low hanging fruit for communities to say, well, the plant's gonna be 80 million, 30 million, whatever, I mean, they're unbelievably expensive. Well, we can't do that. So what do we need to do? We gotta get that rainwater out of our system, and we'll just use our money and time and energy to treat what it's intended to treat, not Mother Nature. Fair?
That's fair. Beautiful thing.
No, here's Pat.
All right, so I'm just gonna read a quick summary. I'm not gonna go through every defect, but I will pass this around.
Is this summary for the town of Ulen or for Lebanon, city of Lebanon?
So the client is the city of Lebanon. So in that
Yes.
regard, we just want to be careful, and when I ask you to understand that we would do the same for your information. They've hired us to come in here, but your systems are intertwined, I guess, is
Yes.
the best way to say that. So therefore, you got the benefit. Then I believe it was the conversation where you just asked if we could come in and explain what we're finding. So the content belongs to our client, and our client is Lebanon.
Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't know if this talk was particularly about what you found in our neighborhood.
It will.
It is.
Yes,
it is.
And then I'll be quiet, let him get going.
And what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and pass that around. Those are basically the defects that we observed. So if you've got a white circle in your yard with a flag and a number by it, that's a defect, is what we did. So I'll go ahead and start. And after smoke testing in the town of Ulen, Westler found multiple issues. We started with defect number 48.
So,
Go ahead.
I'm looking at these quickly.
Yes.
You've extended it into Elmwood. So the bridge, anything past the bridge is not ours.
Okay,
It's
I
part
think
of
there
the
was only
city.
3 defects and
Okay,
yes, I
okay.
think there was only,
First page just had 2 of them.
yeah. And then, yeah, they're on back sides of the pages.
Okay,
So we started with defect 48, which the 3 included the ones you just mentioned, and then we ended with number 80. And we also had a defect 94 and 95 because Cameron, who our client, asked us to come back and do the interceptor along the golf course. Where we found a couple. While smoking, we found the most of the communication manholes along Ulen Boulevard smoked, which this will be something that we go back to our client to ask them what's the further investigation that we need to do? Is there a drain line? Did they hit into a lateral? We don't know. We're just marking the defects. We also firmly believe, when we were smoking, that the town of Ulen still runs partially on a combined system, which their storm sewer and sanitary, they're supposed to be separated. So some of the houses, while we were on the sanitary, there's vent pipes on your roof. That tells us that you're connected. We didn't see them connected. They didn't smoke. We set up on a storm manhole and a couple of them smoked. So we had
How
this,
uncommon is that?
how common or uncommon?
Both. Do you see that often?
Yes, you're not gonna hear anything in this report that we don't tell a community across Indiana every day. It's a
Yeah.
pipe underground, people don't
Right.
vote for things they can't see, you know, there's just.
Well, that was part of our concern,
That- Yeah,
because I think my house was the only house that didn't smoke at all.
yeah.
That's good.
Well,
Say-
the problem
But there's
is,
a,
the problem is that my house is flooded.
even with.
And it
Yeah.
flooded just this last rain. If I hadn't have pumped it or put a plug in it, it would flood my basement to 9 inches probably.
More,
And I mean, it would probably go more than that.
yes,
So this has happened several times. It's coming from a storm drain. And I have no idea where it's coming from. We haven't been able to put a camera in it, but I mean, my house would not flood, but there's storm water pouring in my house.
it just started like March of this year. And now it's like every time it rains, Every time.
It's
there's some
substantial.
sort of
And so like,
water, but.
my insurance gave me 10 grand for
That didn't,
an incredible amount of damage. So the last time I ripped it out, I left it to try to figure out what's going on.
yeah,
There's no water coming from the street. I've had cameras down going out to the street. There is a little bit of a break in the pipe, but that was a clog. That wasn't anything. My sump pump's pumping it out 10 feet out in front of the house. I didn't go all the way out. But we couldn't put a camera down there at the time when they were there because the water pressure was so much. I mean, it'll be days after even, you cannot pull the plug out. And even with the plug in it sometimes, I found other spouts in my house. Like where there was a back staircase originally, and there was a drain in it. So last time I did it, I plugged it and all of a sudden I looked on the other part of the basement, it starts flooding. I found that hole.
not to like derail your.
Not to derail, I'm just telling you like,
we're
so like it's
listening
coming
to
from
that
the
different
storm
ones.
drain
Just
somewhere,
curious.
storm water, and that's why I was so interested in the smoke test and everything, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I was in.
Yeah, anyway,
And it could be, I mean, this is where the further investigations are gonna have to take
right,
place.
yeah,
So the smoke testing is usually inexpensive, pretty quick way for us to get out and get started.
Right.
There's pole cameras, which we have a pole camera, we have different methods that we can go further. The client at this point is just
Yeah.
approved, right? And then, so we'll take these findings back, they may say, all right, now go show us the details, but
Yeah,
we just do what they tell us.
Yeah.
no, I
You're
understand.
good. Yeah.
And Steve might be able to enlighten us more on this situation. I don't know. You know, we're tied to the utilities, Lebanon Utilities, with our stormwater and our sewage and all that. I don't know if they own it. If we,
I presume they own it, because we pay them,
yeah,
and they maintain it.
They maintain, I think a good now analogy would be the fire hydrants, for example.
the fire hydrants.
Yeah.
They put in,
Yeah, so if someone in our town backed over a fire hydrant, they're gonna take care of it at their expense, I believe. So it's kind of a,
so that's where we're, you know, I know you'd called me about it.
Yeah, I was just,
And I mean, I think we have to start with the city
Yeah.
Yeah.
utilities.
Right.
I guess is my guess.
yeah,
So
but I think you're gonna find a lot of challenges just because. I work from home, so I was kind of watching some of this stuff and like when they were over on, I mean. I think there's a lot of, from these old houses, a lot of downspouts. Going everywhere. I just think there's a lot of stuff out there, cause I saw smoke coming out of people's yards. They had cleanouts they didn't know, like in front of Ferris's house. There was one.
Jennifer, you remember, it was probably 30 years ago, we had a program that. It was saying, okay, basically it was saying, okay, residents. Make sure you don't have any your storms not going into your sanitary, vice versa. And so we think we had them all except like 4 that we could figure out. Is this kind of what this is based on?
We call that find and fix it.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll go into crawl spaces, sump pumps, we do the exact same thing. But Brad will tell you, some homeowners are slick enough that by the time we get back to the truck, they've just turned it back off. I mean, they just have valves, so they'll shut it down and say, no, I'm in compliance. And then we'll leave and then they'll just put it right back in the sanitary. You're really in a tough spot. And we've had a lot of these conversations with communities because it's, in a sense, government going into your home. It's tough. When we do that, we have 1 man, 1 woman, we schedule out in advance. We never send an employee into a home alone. We have the booties, there's a whole process for going into somebody's home you gotta be real careful about, but you'll see that. I mean, they'll do it one day and hook it right back up the next, because they don't want the rainwater in their yard.
So help me understand what happened. So I looked at the report and my house is on there. So what does this mean for the residents? I mean, I think you started to tell me when we first talked that, I'm gonna get a letter saying that there's something on my property not in compliance. What do I do next? What's that mean?
That'll be a conversation we have with Cameron. That's who, he's the head of the collections, and then there's a Ryan Onaker. That's who we report to. They will send out a letter if something's not in compliance and it's their system. They will, in the past, it's usually, they can give 30 days, 60 days to have that fixed. And they will come out and see if it was a licensed plumber that made that fix to make sure it was done correctly.
The city of Greenwood pre-identified or approved plumbers in Greenwood. They put that on their website. They have their residents. If you did not know, you could call us and we'd come out and let you know, yes, you're legally hooked up or not. If you were, you could go one of those, I think there was 3 to 5 plumbers that were pre-approved by the city. They would go out, disconnect you, and then you would get a credit on your utility bill for that cost. Because ultimately, once again, we're tax dollars for rainwater. It's just a bad use.
Yeah.
So they would take the credit to say, well, I don't have to buy as many chemicals because I got 1 more house off.
So what would be the next step for someone who gets this letter?
Plumber to disconnect, plumber to disconnect your system from the sanitary. Your downspouts, if that's it, you would, can disconnect those would come out and they would go, like you said, that's your house, into your yard or low-lying area somewhere.
But if the city of Lebanon is your client, would they determine what the next step is from here? Like
Because
what
it's
they're
a
willing
local
to cover,
ordinance.
or?
Yeah, it's a local ordinance, so that's where Brad and I we want to be very careful that, we
Right.
just work for them.
Right.
And, but it's an ordinance, so just like walking your dog or fireworks after a certain time or whatever, it's an ordinance. Now, how many of those always get enforced?
Mhm.
Not all of them.
So I'm looking at a lot of those steel plates that you've got circled, that's
That's the communicate, that's what was odd. We've not seen that before. It was communication, whether a fiber had been ran down. When we took the lids off, some of them were full of water, some of them were dry as a bone. So some of the residents had said there was a drain line years ago that went into the sanitary to keep the water out of those communication manholes. We don't know. We'd have to do further investigation, and that would require like a dye test where we drop a liquid or a dye tablet in, turn it bright yellow, and then we would watch the sanitary sewer with a pole camera or a sewer camera to see if that green dye is getting into the sanitary.
It's a neat process where you track it.
Yeah.
So, well, there it is.
It's a process.
Where's it coming from? And just go back to the system.
And then, like Ty mentioned, the sump pumps, it's just not the sump pumps, they're sewer laterals. There's different methods on how to rehab. There's dig and replace, there's actually lining.
You and I were talking about lining earlier, now sometimes they'll come in and they won't.
Yeah.
You're talking from a house
Yes.
to the main.
Yes,
They could come in and line that or dig it.
Yes.
It's like a sock they
Yeah.
put in there,
Yeah.
and then they heat it up, it
Right.
expands and it forms a seal.
Yeah.
But even then, how does that get in? We were talking about in the car, in the truck.
as far as,
When they line that,
Mhm.
you have the laterals coming in, sometimes they block those, sometimes they do not.
they can, yeah, and some of the houses, like the downspouts, could be tied to a perimeter drain. A lot of houses that have the basements.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Have perimeter drains, and those are hard to get, like when somebody says their house didn't smoke. If the lateral tied into that perimeter drain with the stormwater, they're hard to find.
Yeah,
Because there's, when they put them in, depending on what pipe it
they're
is
8
placed.
feet down.
Well, not only that, you get bellows in the line that pocket water, and that acts as a plug. So we're only forcing enough pressure, it may not go back.
Are we correct in assuming that all these ones with like the manholes, that's all Lebanon Utilities? That wouldn't be the homeowner's responsibility. I wouldn't think.
That's on the public side, but yeah,
I don't know, I'm with you, I would not believe.
I mean, a lot of these are the manholes and the.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're communication manholes, as he said, or if they're.
some of them are storming. There was one, I'll mention it on here in a minute. It was an inlet on, it appeared to be private property that smoked. It was a square storm inlet. And then that would be at 129 Ulen Boulevard. It's on that.
That's, no, I know, I'm 123, I'm thinking, is that Jones?
No,
You're
it's
the-
It's on our side.
Kildal's Drogers.
Yeah, that's where that is.
Yeah,
That's Droger's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Riddle,
Oh, the old.
or
no,
no,
Smith's now, but
Smith, so,
yeah. Oh, here's the photo.
Right.
I can tell, like, and it's the drain,
Sicily.
yeah.
yeah.
Much
ours. Now you're going way back.
Now I know what house it is.
Yeah.
But it's the drain down
Oh,
the
yeah, down in the
drive
driveway.
to the garage. It looks
Yes.
like.
And
But that house had had an issue
I
before.
was gonna say,
They had all
I
kinds
saw
of
him,
issues.
yeah, and he told, yeah.
I think
Droger's had
Just
it.
talked
30
about
years
it
ago,
today.
I think the pool somehow got tied into, and that's, I think the
Smoke.
fixed in now during, yeah. That was the one I remember.
Yeah.
See, back in the day, you could do whatever you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you look at the age of these homes and they just did whatever they wanted to do.
That's the same story, you're not unique, I don't wanna make you feel bad, we did this everywhere we go. Developers just do this, they just.
Oh, my gosh.
Go ahead, you have more?
No, the only other thing I was gonna read was just part of the summary, and I was gonna go through what we call the big items
Okay.
that we had observed, but the other thing that we found was some of the mapping. And I know I talked to Mary, you said another firm years ago did some mapping or,
Butler.
okay, oh, Butler Fairman,
Yes.
okay. Some of the manholes are not in the right location. We've got a GIS map that Lebanon provides their shape files. Some of the manholes were off, which kind of makes the connectivity confusing to us. So I would like at some point go in and map your storm and sanitary, for us to better understand, you to understand what you actually have to work with.
And that comes with, that's your decision and budget, so we understand, I mean, I guess what we're saying is, it's a service that we do offer.
I don't know if they mapped it for GIS years. I think, I mean, this was 15 years, 20 years.
Technology
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody's ever mapped it for GIS. They just,
We had it on their shape file, but taking this report and dropped their manholes in an approximate location.
okay.
Or
Oh,
for
it-
the Ferris
They did sketch by
Jones that would buy.
sketch. They're engineers.
I know. I just didn't know what they had done,
Yeah.
at least from a GIS standpoint, but maybe you could probably tell better than I can.
So the concern is that storm is tied to sanitary, that's the biggest concern.
Yes,
Okay,
Indianapolis, if you think of the White River, and people would always say, don't fish, don't swim, right? Well, that was because it was a CSO, combined sewer system. So when there would be heavy rains, there's these big, I mean, they are big, iron plates, they pop open. Your rainwater's too much, so now you're pouring untreated wastewater into your creeks. So when you have those combined systems, EPA federally is made everybody start getting rid of them, and Evansville has an agreed order, Indianapolis just did the Deep Rock Tunnel, Fort Wayne just did it, so. Once again, not unique, that was the way we used to do it, you did storm and sanitary, but now the flows are too high, the systems are too small, development has expanded much larger than what was. Infrastructure was really planned for originally. They're trying to push people away from that system where you have your sanitary and your rainwater all in the same place.
Okay, which I mean, I think ours is all separate, but. The storm, I mean, I think everybody got water in their basement. Or has had, the sub pumps, but mine's always been. Storm water. That's backing up, I've never had sanitary issues.
We had sewage in March,
Yeah.
You did have sewage, okay.
so that's not shocking to me, to be honest, because it was. Yeah, it was bad.
There's
And I don't
definitely some-
recall, I know. Was it Myers that had sewage? Have you heard from them at all since then? And that's been,
Well, what's
I knew
that
Ray-
that was like 30 years ago.
Ray put a lot of money into his, into Richardson.
What's that called, a pop-off valve, is that what that's called? That's what they did, and the people that put those in were successful.
Yeah.
I don't think.
The backflow.
Backflow.
Well, there's backflow preventer, but I think pop off you're talking about is on the clean out, where when the pressure blows up, a lot of them are threaded.
Yeah.
That's like trying to squeeze a
Oh,
pop
yeah,
bottle and you're not gonna get that
yeah.
cap
Yeah.
off, but the pop off valves, they slide on. And then when it surcharges, it just blows off.
Right.
But there's inline check valves, we talked about that.
Oh,
in your
yeah.
basement. That basically his drainage will go out, it will flap open, but then when it closes, it prevents the water from coming back in, from the system.
But I don't know where it's going.
Right,
You gotta find it first, right? Find it.
Yeah,
You got half a solution.
yeah, it'll come up somewhere else. Somewhere.
So did we get resolution to, if your property is listed on there and you get this letter, what are the action steps?
Soon the city will tell us that.
Oh, there's- I think it's the city.
In the
Oh.
city's directive, and a lot of times, like I said, they'll ask you to disconnect. But each municipality kind of handles that differently. I'm just delicate to try to answer on
Yeah.
that.
Well, like I said, I mean, it seemed like the bulk were the actual
So,
manholes.
You said
Which
you had
I
our
would
big,
think that
our
would
big
all be
issues.
limited utilities.
Yes.
So we rank, and I get,
Now,
how
I
we
get
rank and
you-
why.
It was a
And I
few
would love to hear from
people's
you, like,
private.
what would you suggest us in here? Out of curiosity.
But they smoked this.
No, yeah, that's true.
Go ahead. You wanna do it?
Yeah.
So Brad's gonna go through what we do is we rank the defects. Some are worse than others. We talked about the town in Hanover. They had a big hole in a pipe that was in a creek. That thing was taking on more water, like they don't have straight. So you rank those higher. You have Sue Smith and she's got a little crack. I know there's a ranking to all this. So he's gonna run through what they found and give you some of your highlights, I guess.
Yeah.
God, I hope we're on.
Well, when we started, when we got to the town of Ulen down here at the entrance, we noticed there was a large void. It's number 51 on the sheet right here. That was the most smoke we got out from under a sidewalk, and it looks like it was an old structure that had a pipe directed into the sanitary sewer that did not have a cap on it. That is taking in an abundant amount of water.
That's a safety guy.
So that was the first one, and then that was at 109 Ulen Boulevard on the sidewalk. Also at 109 Ulen Boulevard was the downspouts on that house. That was the first of many we sent. The first one, what we seen here in Ulen. We've got photos of that, and
Who's
like,
109?
I know
That's what I'm trying to-
Steve Smock.
Is it smog? Okay, I was trying to look at it. I couldn't see a house.
Okay.
Yeah,
we had a defective storm inlet, which we were talking about a little bit ago, 129 Ulen. That was in their yard. I don't think it's an easement. It just was weird that it was up in the middle of the yard. And it's a pretty big one.
Smith's house.
Okay.
You can see.
Smith's Gerber, much hard, whatever.
We also had a defective storm manhole at 221 East Drive,
126.
which was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our neighbor, between us,
Neighbor, yeah,
Elaine,
but
Elaine,
I don't know what her name
White,
is.
or Whiteman, Whiteman.
Okay.
And then we had a defective main, which was the defective sewer main. at 229 East Drive. Now, it looked like there was a decorative light or lamp post that was put pretty close to
Are
it,
you
and I'm just wondering.
229?
What was the number?
229.
Yeah. what was the
That's
answer?
you,
Is that you?
Yeah.
that's you.
That was a defective main in front
Yeah.
of your house.
Mhm.
And there's a decorative lamp out there by it, which could be, we just had this happen in one of our communities where Duke Energy went in and the sewer wasn't marked and they put a pole, grazed the side of the sewer, which knocked the whole side of the pipe out. So I don't, this is what we're gonna have to do further investigation. We're gonna have to get a camera in to see what is going on in that main. And then we saw years ago, there's an interceptor that runs across the golf course or along the creek. It's a 15-inch interceptor. Cameron wanted us to come back. Years ago, a lining company lined that with what Ty was talking about, like a sock, cured in place lined it. When they get to the manholes, they cut the ends of that. They've got pipe end seals, which is supposed to make that watertight. I don't know if laterals were reinstated. I don't know. He's trying to find the report now, but those did smoke.
So across the golf course. there's-
Yes, and then we came back with the other last two defects, which was, I think it's 94, 95. Those were an open clean out cap in a low area on the golf course. The maintenance guy said he would correct that one. And then we had another hole in the creek bank. So that was pretty much our findings, what we found. And I think we were here 3 days, 2-3 days we spent here, and that's what we found. There were some great finds. We did call the city on the storm manhole. We wanted to see like what houses, if there were any laterals tied onto it. There was a lot of sediment. He couldn't even get his camera through it on the mains, the storm mains. So that would create a capacity issue, like during heavy rains. Yeah.
Is he gonna go back to that too, or like what?
That would be a decision we need to talk to the city about.
So what are your guys' next steps with the city? So you guys have provided your results, right?
We feed these to him as we go, but at the
Okay.
end they get a report.
Okay,
So so what he does is the areas that we've done, 5 other areas in Lebanon. And then the town of Ulen. The other 5 areas, he's already issued the letters to the residents, so
Okay.
they can get ahead and start making the
Yeah.
corrections. And then the public ones that were on the public side, the city's gonna start correcting those on the other 5 areas that we did.
okay,
But Cameron wanted to wait on this one until we spoke with you tonight to kind of give him feedback on.
and then is he gonna like talk with you guys, like what happens
Soon
here?
they'll send a letter and then you'll have to contact him.
And you said it was Ryan Ottinger
Yeah.
is the
Mhm.
utilities, is that or we have to go through Cameron, not Ryan, or?
It could either be Cameron or Rock, yeah.
I would
What,
tell you
are they
to wait
both
for
for the
the
I would
city?
wait for the
letter.
other.
I'd tell you to wait for the letter. I think,
Yeah.
129.
you know, they've done this in the other
Brands.
5 sections.
Yeah.
And the letter will state first step, second step. I don't know what their process is gonna be.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Is that ours to keep or is that you taking that with you?
I can keep it here.
Please understand.
No,
It's just a matter of
because they're your
the
client,
client
right?
going forward. I
Yeah,
just
it
feel
is.
like that's
Yeah.
theirs. It's yours, but it's a
That's-
system.
I completely
I
understand.
just wanna be respectful of the
Yeah.
clients, you know, and would do the same for you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
The question, what would you suggest? I mean, do you have a stormwater utility?
Lebanon Utilities.
No,
Okay,
it's-
so you
Yeah.
guys wouldn't have it, right?
No,
I mean, what, poll camera, what would steps technically would you say to take next?
I mean, will the city take these steps
Yeah, well,
or utilities?
We,
What are utilities?
most likely, we show them the report, they review that, and then they'll have the conversation, well. You know, we think this is a bad use, but this is a good use, so go do that. We've not had the clear next step conversation. Sometimes there's none. It's they do the smoke testing, we finish the report, that was the scope of what we were asked to do.
right,
Then so I can't answer what's gonna happen next.
So if I had smoke coming up in my basement from the drain, what does that mean?
Your basement drain is connected to your sanitary sewer,
Okay,
which 9 times out of 10, that's how we see them.
okay,
There is a trap on your drain. You would hope there's a trap on your drain. If that has water in it, you shouldn't have got smoke back in Probably what's happened is you have got a drain directly tied to either your perimeter drain or your sewer lateral. That drains that basement. That's probably why you got smoke in it. I would recommend, here, I do it at my mom and dad's house in Columbus. Every time I go visit, I pour water down that drain just to keep a little bit of water in that track.
Okay,
We've also known that like a low-grade vegetable oil, like a Wesson, you buy that at the Dollar General store, it won't evaporate. So it basically creates like a,
well, seal.
looks like a seal, yeah, so you don't get the odors or water
Okay.
or smoke coming back in.
On this one thing.
Outside of that, is there anything we could answer for you? Anything you'd like to hear more about? Brad knows his stuff. He's a humble dude, but he's, he knows, he's been doing this a long time. We've got quotes from, different mayors and councils about it, what he does, so. He's good at what he does, he's enthusiastic about it, they always find the problems. The fixes are so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a problem. If you say, well, we need a whole new system. Wait till you have that public meeting, to tell you about what the rates are gonna go. So it's just a really tough, it's a very expensive industry, pipes underground. Thousands of linear feet, it's just a very expensive fix. The lining is sometimes that is a great next step.
Yeah.
But it's a pipe underground, it's gonna fail eventually.
I don't know if you know much history about town of Ulen, but it was one of the first underground utilities.
Really?
First town to have all underground utilities.
Really?
1929.
1929.
Yeah.
So we've got some old pipes.
Yeah.
Isn't that infrastructure trivia or a bunch of engineers?
Yeah, well, these are pipes with gas lines in them too. Well, not anymore, but like I had pipes with actual lines that were like a gas line. They ran several things in one big clay
Really?
pipe.
Like a
Yeah.
conduit.
We found wood pipe, it's
Oh, yeah.
wood
Oh, my
and
goodness.
it was Michigan City, I believe. I mean, this thing would have been underground for.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how long, but
Wow.
They had wood pipe for water that provided water to home, yes.
Interesting.
it's
Yes.
a really cool industry if you're
Huh.
into it. I will say before we leave you to your meeting, this is called At a Glance. We are currently reprinting a new version. There's really nothing in here that you're gonna miss, but it's a storybook of the services we offer, case studies, things like that. If there's anything in there you'd like to hear more about, just reach out to Brad. We're happy to give you that information, but I'll leave these behind.
Thank you.
If nothing else, you got some neat pictures to look at. That's the camera actually right there. So when you talk about the camera on the front, they're pretty small things. They've got to get into the tight spots, but yeah, nice document and hopefully you find it helpful.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah,
Thank
Just
you.
to clarify real quick for me, so you put the smoke in the sanitary.
Mhm.
And if it comes out in the storm, that's the problem. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I had my head right.
So we also smoke test storm sewers, depending on the client, to find out who's connected. Because we had one in City of Indianapolis, they were getting, raw sewage in a creek. And they knew it were coming from one subdivision, and we had to find out who that one person was. So we did it reverse, we smoke tested the sanitary first, one did smoke, we did the storm, we found out who it was. So the contractor, when he got out to the street, there's two mains and eeny, meeny, miny, moe, we hit the wrong one and tied it into the storm, the sanitary into the storm.
And I'm guessing this doesn't tie it all into the whole lead-based pipe.
That's
water.
That's water.
Usually water. I mean, the lead.
Well, but there are
service line-
lead-based pipes that are
Oh.
also inside. I know that Lebanon Utilities sent out that letter, but I don't know what their schedule is to start working on those, and is that tied to this project in any way?
No,
Okay.
no,
that
we
would
do
be-
lead service lines all
That
over
would
the
be a
Midwest
service
right
coming
now,
in as
but
opposed
not
to
for
you guys are
Lebanon.
the water going out.
Yeah.
Okay,
What were you scoped to do for the city? This, just a smoke test?
We were
And then-
under, yes, smoke
And
testing
then give
only.
to them for them to figure out what,
Yes.
okay,
It's a phase. So you
Yeah, well,
start
that-
with this, and then you
it
go to
has-
this, and
has
then
to
you go-
be.
yeah.
so, okay.
When I started years ago, gosh, 18 years ago, one of my first jobs was here in Lebanon, and Steve Large, if anybody remembers Steve. Okay, he had us do basically 50 manhole inspections and smoke test this area. And then basically over a 5-year period, we'd have all of Lebanon done. At the end of that I think it's 7 is what we did. At the end of that 7 years, we went back to area 1 and did it all over again. We recommend doing that every 5 years.
Okay.
Because with MetroNet, all the development going on, they are going to. hit it.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
God, we have them.
They keep us pretty busy.
Good. Okay.
Messing up other people's infrastructure as they come through here.
Do we know when these letters are gonna go out? No idea.
We just finished the smoke testing today,
Okay.
so I will talk to our GIS, and I think we're doing a tech memo for Lebanon. But it will have the pictures that you've seen, the sheets like that, that will have every one of them we did, and that goes to our client for review. And then, like Ty said, they will decide what they,
I would say. We'll probably get that tech memo out on Friday, Monday.
probably early next week.
So Monday, Tuesday's got it on the desk, you're reviewing it, I'll bet you 2 weeks away, if not 3.
Well, one of the highest points happened to be the home that's owned by John Brand, so I'm kind of curious. He will obviously know who was with Butler, Fairland, Seaford.
Oh.
The 109 Ulen?
129.
Oh, 129. Well, okay.
So he will know what to do. I'm kind of thinking he might want to be maybe a point person for some people.
I mentioned something to them.
Interesting.
Didn't.
They didn't even know their spots. They were gone or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
they didn't.
they spend so much time at
The other
Columbus.
kids or wherever, yeah,
They
they,
got a house.
yeah, so.
Cabin down.
Okay, so
outside.
they may not have seen it on their.
Yeah, cause
cars.
there's something
I
big
didn't know
behind
they
their
did
house, he didn't realize was there. What is it right there behind the,
129.
yeah, 129, and they're like a big.
The 129 was a defective storm inlet. It was a square
Big
inlet.
inlet, yeah,
It's big.
it's right behind his house. And then actually those 2 little things that spit the water out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack McCutcheon years ago, I guess, ran that's his. Downspouts or whatever, so he ran something too, cause if it backs up, whatever, that it goes out there on the street. Brandon
Is
told me
that the
that.
thing that's by the sidewalk?
Yeah, those
With
two little
the
things
two
stick
little-
up in it like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I've never seen that before, so that was new to us,
Yeah.
how that was configured.
Jack McCutcheon.
Okay, yeah.
What is his name?
But it's, John Brand lives there now.
Jack McCutcheon built it. He owned the lumberyard back in the
Okay.
day.
Yeah, he was the original homeowner,
Builder.
because that's when they added on the garage and the electrical panel is inside. The meter is inside the garage.
He's got a soundproof room back there for drums. He had a drum set that he played. Pretty unique.
The meter is inside?
They added on and they didn't move the meter, so the meter, when they used to have to read them, is inside the garage. Yeah. So,
Ulen was an interest, is an interesting story.
It's the best part of my job. Just all these, every.
I mean, we're 52 homes in a golf course surrounded by the town of Ulen, or town of Lebanon now.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
your questions and engagement. We had a lot of
Thank
public
you. It was
meetings,
nice
and this
to
by
meet
far
you.
was not the worst, so. This was really nice. This is like going to dinner. I don't know.
obviously, you said that was the city of Lebanon's. I don't think we got the copy. I mean, we won't even know which homeowners are, I mean, short of what we remember. I mean, will we get any kind of report? Or list so that we know?
I just don't.
We can find, I mean, I really do, we should be able to find out from Ryan.
Well,
Guys.
you,
I mean,
it's probably, it's not Ron, who's the other guy?
Cameron.
Cameron's the engineer, isn't
He's
Or
the
town
collections-
manager.
He's collection, on the collection side.
he? Oh, for
He pays
utilities?
bills,
For utilities.
so,
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe you can reach out. and
I'll talk to
sort of
you.
keep-
Yeah.
And just keep us in the loop.
Just so that we know which homeowners, because I won't remember
Yeah.
what all the addresses were. that
I mean,
were
and that's
there.
gonna impact next steps for everybody here to understand, like, then what are they gonna do to further the scope, or what are they going to, if anything, to then figure out for those that are affected here, what they need to do.
I will talk to Cameron tomorrow morning. Are you in the office tomorrow?
I'm down to Salem, but I can be on the phone if you need me.
Okay, and we'll talk to Cameron about what went on tonight.
Yeah.
Like, we presented our findings and the questions that you had, and then that'll be, like, since they're our client, that'll be,
Yeah, you guys are in a tough position.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
Well, I mean, we're not much different than everybody else in the town of Lebanon. We're utilities, we're customers of utilities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
every customer, every one of our houses is a customer, and if it's our house that has to be taken care of,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
they're
what's-
gonna tell us what's our responsibility, and they're gonna tell us what they're gonna take
Yeah,
responsibility.
what's different for us is that we field questions from the
From
residents. I mean,
right.
they don't pick up the phone and call 11 utilities they're asking
Yeah,
us, so
right.
it helps if we can be caught up with what's happening.
Right.
Understood. Understood.
Now, Mary, the last question I had was the report.
Mhm.
That stays with you. Do you want me to look at that? What,
This one,
Oh,
Oh, I gave it back to him, Brad, I'm
oh, no,
sorry.
no, it,
which report?
you just said the
previous
fine,
map
was it just a
report?
map?
That
Is
was
the
the
only thing?
map.
There is a report in here.
Okay,
So that's
Oh.
the question for the count. I mean, is it useful to you?
What's
If
in
it's,
I would say that, I mean,
it's
I don't
from
know.
2007.
it looked like it said storm study on the outside or something,
Yeah.
sewer study.
Was this for the, the lining?
that was the study they did on the, well,
Steve, that was in your tenure.
I don't know what it is.
It's that sewer report that,
Oh, that's, yeah. John Brand's gotta be the go-to guy to talk about that, and he won't even know, he'll have to talk to the engineers that did it. But he had him do it.
You have a copy
That
of that?
is pretty, that is a
I don't know.
infrastructure on steroids right there. They spent a lot of,
Well, let's allow them to think about it as a
Yeah,
group.
I agree.
We're up here all the time. I can be here in 15 minutes from where I live, so, you guys talk about it, if you want us to have it, if you want us to come back, if you want us to.
okay,
This is what we're
it's,
gonna do with
it's the only copy we have, so we'd like to
Yeah,
keep control of it. I just didn't know
Yeah,
whether
I
it was
think that's the
useful.
right
Yeah.
thing for you to do.
and we need to probably figure out what it is.
And then, and I'd say this, I'd sound bad, but two
It's
thousand
it's
seven.
actually pretty short. Most of it
Whatever's in
is,
there, it's changed a bunch since then, I'll guarantee.
There's not been that much I mean, because it's established, there's not that much development, and I don't think there's been that many.
No, I just mean they would say, well, this pipe's in great shape.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Discoveries of what was where and how it went, yeah.
I was in great shape in 2007, myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good year.
Good year.
It's like those pipes, I'm thinking.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your part too.
You're welcome.
We'll move on then. The next order of business would be approval of minutes. Everybody get the June minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented. I second.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
let's sign it.
Good. Treasurer's report, review of treasurer's report.
Yeah. Can pass a few of these around. Everybody. You guys have already seen it. if you may wanna-
Seeing it.
Basically, this is for June, we had receipts of $115,000 last June because we got our mid-year settlement. And also an extra distribution for something. I got another check for 13,000 for something.
No kidding.
Yeah,
We had a good distribution.
yeah. And then our disbursements were 10,900, so almost $11,000, and our balance as of the end of June was $580,323.
So to give you an idea, when we had to do the electrical project, just. I may not be exact, when we started the electrical project, we had around between 500,000 and 600,000 in our coffers.
it's the 7 to 8, I
I
think.
can read that.
I don't think it got that high,
I can't,
because we did the road,
I remember what you're talking about.
we did the road.
And now
So-
we're back up.
Yeah, so now we're almost back to where we were, and the utility the electric project was what? 4 years ago, 3-4 years? ago?
Seems like yesterday.
Feels like that. So,
It was still going on when we moved here
Um,
in 2020, I know that.
budget planning.
Okay, so a couple of things about the budget. I have my meeting with DLGF field reps tomorrow to talk about budget. I sent you guys a
Proposed.
copy of this, and I don't know, whether you. At some point, we need to really walk through this in detail and look and make sure that we got that right. I don't know whether you want to do that now or you want to give us
In
feedback.
the camera fund,
So, the
that
cam-
only had 10.
So we actually appropriated extra in the public safety fund this year, and we have $25,000 left after we've paid our fire bill. So we have 25 appropriated this year. If it's more than 25, I'm either gonna have to do an additional appropriation, or we're gonna have to roll it over into next year's budget. But that means, how much do we want to appropriate next year? Do we need to put more in, because we're gonna have the cost of maybe additional bandwidth, or we might have to buy, hardware to look at,
We'll know more probably by next meeting, maybe.
yeah, we really need
So yeah, when does this
The
have
quote.
to be submitted?
Oh.
So the first draft has to go tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we have to, public meeting, if I need your approval on this, the public meeting.
August. Or September.
The hearing date's gonna be August 26th. Is that, this is,
Yeah.
if we try and align it with our regular meetings. The public hearing would happen at the August meeting, and I have to send out notice to taxpayers by August 11th. And that means our adoption meeting a month later is September 23rd.
Yeah.
And I can't push it to October.
Let's do, yeah, we'll do that.
So everybody okay with those dates? Cause I
Yes.
gotta give her this tomorrow.
So I take that and look over it, and if you got any responses.
Questions or,
Well, that was my only.
My
I wasn't
only
aware we were rolling over.
question was landscaping, if we're gonna try to do flowers and things next year.
yeah.
Do we wanna raise that from 10 to maybe 20, 25? We were talking about hanging baskets.
Yeah, underwater.
The gifts that keep on giving.
Yeah, yeah. 10 won't cut it, I can tell you straight up.
No, I know, that's why I say,
Only 18,000.
18,000 was
That's
what it
for
cost.
2 waters a day.
Two
Now, you think it doesn't need 2 waters a day, but the way the sun is and the way those baskets hang, it's like,
It dries it out.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's just, oh gosh, and if you don't do it, you waste it. So,
right, so you might as well water
yeah, so we have basically ATV with a certain amount of gallon of water. And then it comes off it like a hose, and then the hose turns into a little deal like that. And so the way it's supposed to go is the person can run and, but it's a little bit, it doesn't work that way, shit, or whoever has to do it. That's a big chore. It's a lot to take on. It's a lot of money for someone that dies. I've been torn with that, spending money on that. I still feel guilty about it, but people want it. And we have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Are there
So-
other flowers other than petunias, which
Right.
require so much water,
Mhm.
that would look good?
We'd have to ask.
I mean, that would be. a
cactus up there and
I
see what
can-
happens.
Yeah, I
Well,
can check with Sullivan's.
and we talked to the kid that's gonna do
Yeah,
the
Tabor.
temporary, landscaping. And he was talking about having a truck that had a water
Yeah,
thing to where he could drive around and do it. So, I mean, we at least did broach the possibility of having
Yeah.
that as part of it.
I don't know why, but women seem to be able to do that better than just a guy that is used to laying down, landscaping rock. And I don't. But it's like, guys, gosh, if we really got audited, I would think that they were like, okay, we spent $18,000 of the taxpayers' money for what now?
the city of Lebanon does it,
I know,
town of,
it's the business.
Carmel does it.
Carmel does it, yeah, it's not, it's.
I know, I get
I
both
drive
sides.
to lots of towns.
So what do we want this number to be? Because here's the
25.
deal. I have to give her a preliminary one tomorrow, but we'll have a public hearing. We then approve the budget.
25.
Once I advertise it though, it can't go up. It has to come down.
I would say at least 25 to 30.
30, put 30 in there. If we don't use it, it's.
Right, if we don't,
Yeah.
yeah, but you don't want
Is
to
it-
do a special
But,
appropriation.
but yeah, what we always did when I alwaid shot to for the moon is what,
Yeah, but you can't be.
What's his name used to
so
tell
loud.
me,
I'm
the old
looking at-
treasurer,
So,
Oh, Steve. Yeah.
Million said, go high,
Oh, yeah.
cause you don't have to use it.
So
Yeah,
let me-
because you don't have to use it.
let me ask you about professional services. We spent about $25,000 on professional services this year. What are we gonna need next year?
This year was because of the
Yeah.
variance or zoning.
I would put 20 in there, like I said, put 20 in there, be safe. We have enough in our funds to cover this, we
Right.
don't have to spend it,
Yeah.
but it's harder to do an additional appropriation.
The only
It's not
time we still
impossible.
need legal would be if there becomes
Yeah, an issue with
an issue with, getting his interpretation on
a bill.
planning and zoning
I
variances.
do think legal's accepted from that appropriations thing. There's
Is it? Okay.
some slightly different rules for legal.
Okay. Let's just make it
I
20.
don't know when the laws are in place.
Curb and circle repair.
Yeah, no.
Most of those are getting paid for by the county return. That's-
Okay, so 5,000 is gonna be enough?
Yeah.
City or the county.
Isn't there something in there down that used to do that? That's what I was thinking.
What is that now?
But they'll handle.
So-
I'm not gonna mess with it.
Anything, sorry, we're having a lot of different conversations. It's gonna be really hard for anybody to hear. So if the, so we have, 5,000 each for sewer and electrical and streetlights and access. I didn't know whether we're gonna need any repairs or maintenance on either the streetlights or the sewer, and maybe anything there anybody wants to change.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I had miscellaneous road repairs in two different, something out of local road and street and something out of motor vehicle highway. I had $5,000 each there, so that should cover us for anything that
Yeah.
happens there, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. I put some project management dollars in for the cumulative capital development. That money, that 100,000 for the cumulative capital development, we had in the budget this year for the entryway construction, and because it was such a big number, it occurred to me we might want to look at a project manager for that, just like we did for the road work, because that really worked well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I put some money in for that.
okay,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
Fire protection is locked in, we're okay, that's a little more than we usually need, but just in case something bumps up. I had $10,000 for the security system in here. I thought I put more than that.
Make it 20.
Yeah,
Well, that was the 10 that I was concerned about.
Yeah, make
But
it
if we
20.
had if we,
I think we should make it 35.
That's fine.
yeah. In case we don't get it this year,
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
locked into 10.
Okay.
So we're talking about putting cameras and just on the roads in case, just for peace of mind and a little bit of protection.
Roundabout.
Damage.
Roundabout damage.
Okay. If you guys see something else that you want to change, like, do take your time and look at it. If you see something else or if something else occurs to you, I will need it before I place that ad. It has to run on August 11th, so within the next couple of days would be great,
Okay,
all right?
vouchers.
Okay, here's one for, trash. I had to pay $50 to the county recorder to get those, ordinances recorded, which I'm gonna have to re-record. There's a $125 from Menards. This was for those timers and I got a moisture tester that was $11. I got a power strip for this because I keep pulling mine out of the wall to bring it here. And a spray bottle for the fungicide.
You give me a text.
Yep,
There you go.
yeah, we got an account with them with the tax thing.
Yeah, taxes and.
This one we talked about, this is the annual subscription to Zoom for the meetings. That's 160, but it's once a year. That's it. not too much this year, no.
Were you able to get any of the things we need to reimburse you for what your expenses are and get them changed over to the credit card now that we have?
For the website,
Mhm.
haven't done that yet,
Okay.
because it's gonna take me a while to wade through it all.
Oh, okay.
Anything else on treasury?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Key projects, road work completion, looks like from, just driving around today that they finished everything up today. So the all of our roads have been re-sealed now. I don't know if we do a final walkthrough with them.
He said something about that, like a punch list.
Yeah, so
So-
if you see anything that is very concerning to you, I know the other day we had some issues. And then we're gonna always have issues with the trash truck coming through. He's always, depending on what people put out in their trash, it goes in, and if it's liquid, it goes right back onto the ground. And there's not really anything that they can do from a sealing it standpoint. They've sealed the road, and that stuff's just gonna have to go with the rain and evaporate, and some of them take more than one rain to get through.
I did see one spot where it looked like they didn't, on the brand new thing they did today, where it looked like it didn't get coated right in the middle, like where they,
Together,
yeah, if they weren't coming together in the middle.
okay,
That's,
so we'll schedule a
He
final
mentioned
walkthrough.
something like that,
Okay.
I think in his
We'll
email.
schedule a final walkthrough, and then if we hear anything for any other of our townspeople.
so my question for you is, I haven't been through the closeout process before. Is Craig gonna work with me on that, or I'm not sure what the
Yes.
closeout is.
Yes, because we'll have to submit some paperwork back to
Community crossing.
community crossings.
Grant.
Yeah,
Okay,
so Craig will engage him to help us finish that.
okay, so he knows he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
All right,
Landscape maintenance, we have a contract with now I can't remember the name of the company.
Did he
Outdoor.
start? Cause I was
He's
wondering.
gonna
about
start, I
Okay,
think he's
'cause I
gonna
was
start
like,
this week. He won.
The entrance looks really bad.
He was gonna give us a quote on finishing up if we wanted to finish up with mulch on.
Oh,
the
gotcha.
Mrs. What's her name on the corner?
Sarah.
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 If we wanna finish Sarah's mulch down and then mulch our,
Okay. Gotcha.
he's gonna give us that quote, and then he will start the watering and picking out of
Weeds.
weeding process.
And
Supposed to
who
start.
is this?
His name's Tabor Nance. It's
Okay.
something green.
do you have the contract back? I mean,
I will check and see. I don't think I have it back, but I'll have him send it. Green Acres Outdoors. Green Acres Outdoors at gmail.com.
So did we pay for Sarah's mulching this year?
No, she did that.
She did.
We're just wanting to know, we talked about just finishing it. Cause it's only, you're not talking about a lot of money, but it just would be nice to have the whole thing entryway. We've done so much work to the other side. A little bit of mulch on this side would make us look.
Bless his heart, he's taking a section at a time. He'll do a little bit this day, a couple days later, but,
Is that what he's doing?
well, he didn't do it all at once. He did, I don't know if he works at something else or not. I don't even know who he is.
So we're gonna just kind of use him through the fall and see what we think, and then we'll reevaluate it at the end of the fall and decide if we want to extend the contract into the next spring, and he would probably refigure if we're gonna do flowers, and he'd have to do that. So.
Yeah.
Okay, circle repairs.
We received the check from the company that did it. But I did not feel like, I wasn't sure if I had authorization to tell Josh to go ahead and
Yeah.
repair it. And I wanted to wait till we got through the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't want both of them being here at the same time or any of that kind of stuff, so now
Yeah.
it should be done.
You wanna make a motion to approve Josh repairing that?
I make a motion that we approve Josh repairing the
Okay.
damaged circle.
He gave us the quote,
Yeah,
and then they
he's-
paid
he's
us,
done.
that, yeah.
Too, is there a little bit on the north one too? Or no? Was that last time?
I think we fixed the north one last time.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna, there's a small crack on the other side of the south circle.
It'll get
that's-
hit again.
It's gonna get hit again, so
And
at this
we,
point, it's just that.
Yeah. So
Big
we-
mess that's going on.
the next item down was the new road sign. So I've got the posts, the poles had to be ordered. Cause they didn't have, the only thing they have
Right.
is 7 foot and they've got holes in them. I need the 9 foot with no holes. So they're ordered, due in early August.
Right.
So I'll have 4 of those and then we'll dig the holes and put those signs up. Entry,
I did have someone mention to me that should we consider making the roundabouts smaller, making the circles smaller? And I said, my feeling is that there is a lot of utility in those.
Well, we made the roads bigger. When we made it, yes, we
Oh, that
added a
was,
couple
that
of
was
feet.
my next question. I was
We added a
thinking,
couple of feet when we made them and smoothed them out,
I was
because the
thinking-
circles were already.
I thought if we ever had to do curb cuts like in that area, that, we could make them bigger on the outside, but you've already done it.
Yeah,
I
we already
didn't know
did
that. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
probably not an option.
Yeah.
We did, speaking of the roads and things, we did get the new signs and they did have those out for the weekend.
I thought.
Look great.
We-
Yeah, they
we-
look good.
So much better.
And I went through and showed them kind of how, where to put them, because we had new signs that say no parking here to the corner.
Right.
Try to get those 10-15 foot back from the corner so people can get around corners and the entryway where you came in.
There's a couple that are laying out on people's lawns.
Still,
I
They're,
told Blake about that today.
okay,
I mean, we paid for those signs.
Right.
For their benefit.
right.
They need to take better care of those signs. I mean, they've only used them once and half of them are bent and, I mean.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I felt like the metal brackets this time were a lot flimsier than last time. So we may end up having to replace some of those metal brackets. The signs will be okay, but those metal brackets, I put my foot down on 2 and broke them.
Well, maybe they can buy the brackets.
Yeah, well, I
So we
don't,
paid $500 and some odd dollars for the signs.
but I understand their problem, because if you try to push those brackets in and you break. they're-
Yeah, the
so-
welding.
Yeah, the welding was not very good on this batch. So, but we do have new signs and they are
They
hopefully,
look great.
hopefully,
Yes, they look
hope-
good.
I think they'll put them in the right places. I tried to put them so you no parking around the circles and.
Yeah.
So if they,
What was the bill on the south circle? Or was it the limestone?
$1,400.
Oh, that's good. Was it just the limestone cap? or was
It's
it-
a little bit of the stone and then like 16 limestone
Okay.
capped.
Was that primarily on the east side?
It's on the east side. Yes,
the new
right across
people
from
backing out?
Michelle's.
Yeah.
No, it was
Michelle's
a,
Thomas's.
yeah,
It was a semi.
it was a semi.
No, it was a semi that hit it.
yeah.
The
So we,
young kid.
we
thought he
have
could
new,
make the
we
turn.
have new signs.
He got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's-
He was
Yeah, we-
stuck
you
there.
gotta go up on top of it.
Yes.
We have new signs that say no large trucks enter at the, that'll go at the entrance, right where Doc Honan's house.
Yeah,
And down by, in front of,
perfect.
Derek's house, and then another one over across the street from your house.
Yeah.
So we've got the signs in, just waiting on posts. Yeah,
I have an update on the next one.
entry signage bid.
So I was able to get on a call with John Levine today to talk about the design and the fact that we didn't have anybody bid. We only had one person submit a bid and it was way more expensive than we were expecting. He set up a conference call, and when I got on the call, they had already contacted 2 other vendors on our behalf. So they are already getting quotes for us
Okay.
for a couple of other companies, which is great.
Awesome.
He did tell me that it might mean farming it out to two different companies, one company make the metal part, another company to make this, to do the
Yeah,
stone
that
work.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
And he also said, we're still probably gonna be in the area of 100K, he thought, because, I mean, the original quote was 96. But
Yeah.
he said, prices have gone up,
Yeah.
you know, he said, just be prepared for that.
Okay.
Unless we wanna redesign, now, if we wanna redesign. We're gonna pay them a little bit more money to
No.
come up with a new design, so
Yeah.
I think we're good.
is that off the table?
Redesign,
I
yeah,
don't
I don't
see
want to
any reason
redesign.
to, I mean, we've been through the whole design process.
And we spent almost 6 months with residents going through the design process.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Security cameras.
Can we go back to the sign?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If you need any help, I've done over 2 dozen external signs. For like environmental or like landscape. So if there's anything I could do,
Vendor wise,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, we could share it with you if you want to share it with some people.
No, I knew.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of metal ones though. So
you do metal signs.
I didn't know that.
so the security cameras, we have a new vendor, it's called Duneland Security out of Brownsburg. They're coming on Thursday to do a walk around, and he was hopeful that we could do some, I mean, the prices he was, I mean, I shared the email with you all, what he said, I mean, it sounds like he is more reasonable than maybe than we were thinking, which is good, and he's very excited about the opportunity to give us some ideas, so he's,
Sounds great.
so we're meeting him on Thursday.
Because the only thing. I have, this, I know you guys have worked on this, so I might be just jump up and write it off. But I have the security cameras down at the lake house, I have it overkill at my house here. The only thing is, and then I had security at my business. If you don't get a camera that can zoom in on the license plate, you're about done. I mean, something needs to be to identify the people, okay, okay.
Yeah, it needs to be in a high enough resolution
Yeah,
that you
I
can
need to
zoom in
stop
on
that,
it.
yeah. And say, well, something happened this night, you've got 4 cars to pick from. You should get all those, well, back in the day, 6A, 68, you know. But you have to get those numbers or you're not getting there. You can see where it happened, but you can't tell them that.
Gotcha.
I think the bottom line is gonna be how expensive the cameras are, because, and how much do we wanna spend on it?
Well, see, that bothers me. That's weird because all these cameras have gone down in price. All these little home cameras, you know, you do it through your phone and under that. They're not expensive. But evidently outdoors and for what we're after is more expensive than we think, huh?
Well, I've been hearing a really broad range, like everything from it's $5,000 a camera to it's $300 a camera. And it depends on, you know, the features. Is it something that moves inside and you know, is it something that zooms in for you? Is it sharp enough to get a license plate? I mean, all of those are factors in the cost of the camera. But that's why we're bringing in somebody to just
Okay.
consult with us and tell us what makes sense.
And I think, I mean, I don't know how many cameras y'all thinking about, you know?
Well, we're
Don't know,
also
having
doing
a
some around
design.
here too.
Okay,
And we're working with the club, because the club would like to have some security for not only their employees, but also just
because if it
everything
doesn't
that's
work,
around
and we
here, so
can't,
we can
we can't
package it
find,
together.
we can't find the distance that we need from a tree or whatever to the thing. It'd be nice if you could just do like, let's tell the guy, we wanna just do 1 camera right now. Okay, it's not gonna be that much, and then we piggyback onto that. Because if you get 17 or 7 cameras or however many you're getting, and none of them actually do the feature, then we're kind of like stuck with 7 cameras. So I guess it'd be nice to be able to start off slow and piggyback on. That's just it doesn't mean anything, it's just my little. I just don't know how those things pick up that, I know those police have that. I mean, they can just pick up any kind of a thing with high resolution.
Yeah, it's hard, cause like, I'm looking at one of
Yeah.
my stations right now,
Yeah.
I can't zoom in on that,
Because the angle's not right, or
like, if you try to zoom in on
or
that.
they're privy to it, or they'll put something
It's
black
just-
over their driver or their license plate. But, are you thinking about doing standalone or like doing on a tree or like?
Our light posts,
Well, the light posts get power, but there are some cameras that function wirelessly that he thought might be a good option for us. He wants to come out and look, he's gonna
Yeah,
make a
well, that's
recommendation.
good,
We're just
yeah.
gonna-
Yeah.
Just see what he has and you guys can do a little cost benefit analysis.
planning commission and BZA orientation.
Okay, I did talk with Bob Clutter and Deb Lazier, both. They both say they already have materials. They say they can work on the sort of simulated activities so people can practice doing this. They seem to have it under control, which is great.
Do we wanna do like a September, try to set a September date or October date?
I think I think they're ready as soon as we are. I
What's this one?
Is it something that we'll do in person
Yeah,
or
just
is
like a
it's
little
like an online
training.
course or
In
what?
So they know.
Yeah,
in
well,
person.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
I would say either do it of an evening or a Saturday morning, whatever, probably be in the evening.
So I have a question, I mean, the dates I think we can set, but I have a question about. Are we paying Bob Clutter for his time to do this?
Oh, yeah.
We are.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Are we paying Deb for her time to do
if
this?
she sends us a bill, we'd have to.
So what does the agreement say? Is there any training included in the interlocal agreement?
Doubt it.
I think we ought to look at that and see.
Okay, I mean, I would imagine their professional services, you're gonna pay for them when they come.
Okay,
You don't want Debbie, I remember.
No, Deb Lazier, and she may not, but Bob will for sure. I mean, Bob's gonna bill us anytime he comes,
Picks up the phone.
yeah. But
That's what you do.
Yeah,
I pay for your services.
okay.
do you not agree with that? Or-
I just want to make sure that if there's anything in the interlocal agreement that
We can look at
we
it,
just need to look at
Yeah.
that. I haven't.
we
looked
can look
closely
at
it, so
it,
just-
I would
I
doubt,
just don't wanna. I mean, if we're working on this together.
yeah.
And we don't have to do it now, I can go through it.
All right, new business. Public hearing and readoption of wheel license excise tax.
Yeah, just in the interest of transparency. We jumped the gun, I jumped the gun bringing those two, new tax documents, like ordinances for the wheel tax and the vehicle excise tax. We were supposed to have a public hearing first. Fortunately, I haven't submitted it to the DOR yet or to the DOTs, but we do need to have a public hearing, and I've already placed an ad on that, and everybody will be getting an email about that. I think that the 7th is the date that we decided to do the public hearing. We'll get feedback and then have a new version of those two ordinances to just reapprove.
Okay,
And then I have to run as fast as I can get myself down there and get those re-recorded and get them sent off so that.
What time on the 7th are you thinking?
I thought it was 6:30.
Okay, that's fine.
I
I blocked out
talked to
5 days.
somebody, I talked to somebody at the county and they're not even looking at this yet. They're not even sure they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna have to if they ever wanna get community crossing grant money, and they realize that, but they're just,
Okay, we're gonna do it. I just
Yeah.
need to get it there by September 1st, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
No, that's great.
okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Any other new business? Anybody got? You wanna, I mean, that's that'll be our first project. If we do it,
Yeah,
and
did Ryan get you anything?
he has not, so we have local resident that's entertaining putting a swimming pool in, so this will be our first project that we go through the official ordinance, will follow the ordinance and follow all the he'll have to apply for the building application, and it's all here in the checklist, the things that he has to submit to the office up there. I went up and visited with Kirby, who's the guy that's kind of works with Deb Lazier out in the field, and he said, yeah. He said, he'll make sure that everything gets submitted, and then they'll submit it to us. And we give them, everything looks good and meets the criteria, then we can tell them to move forward with submitting application to do that.
So have you been handling all that, or is there anybody on the committee that's been engaged in that?
Yeah, that's the first one. I figure I'd follow the first thing through so that then we can explain whoever's gonna do it. Cause it's really, there's really not the committee would only be if there's gonna be
An appeal?
well, if it,
Yeah, and I'm not
If
sure
they need
where, obviously there are setbacks, there are
right,
all
right.
sorts of things.
So if he has to make an adjustment to that, that will go in front
I'm
of.
not sure where they're planning to put it. I know they took down a tree on the north side of the
They're not
garage
doing any of their renovating.
and,
Yeah,
this says that a pool has to be in the backyard. I don't know if that's considered the side yard or the backyard or.
Can I ask who it is? Or is it none of my business?
Chastain,
Chastain's, Lynn's house.
Lim's house.
So,
So he'll, assuming he's gonna follow through with this, if he has to go in front of if he can't get it in the right place, he would have to go in front of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and then they would
Right.
rule on whether or not he could put it where, if it encroaches on one of our property lines or
Yeah.
the back lot, so.
no, I don't, Lisa let me know that they were working on
Yeah.
getting it together, but.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time doing this, so just for this very reason, so that when somebody wants to put something in, that we know it goes in correctly. They have to go in front of the storm drain board. I didn't realize that, but they have to make sure that the water drains
Well,
off.
I was-
And
yeah,
simply because we have one in town that was built a few years ago that the water does not drain correctly, and it affects the neighbor. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we want to open it up just for some public
Sure.
comment to see if there's anybody
Yeah.
online that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute everybody, or ask you all each to unmute if you want to speak or ask a question. You should see a little.
Microphone.
She said, no.
Do we know how many rounds?
Hey, this is Lisa Hutchison. Hi.
Lisa,
Hey, I'm really excited about being able to view this remotely because I've been working and eating dinner while I've been watching this meeting. So it's been great.
lucky you.
I had a question about the signs that we're getting, and I know it won't stop people, but I don't know about you guys, but I've had like 12 visits from the pest man, and really gets annoying to have solicitors show up. Are any of the signs going to say no soliciting? Or I know it probably won't stop people, but
We have not talked about putting one of those. We could put one at the entryway, a small one up there. When they start coming down our road, I always ask them if they have a permit from the city. And if they don't, they need to go get it and bring it back and show me.
good idea.
Well, I always ask for the Lebanon permit, because if they've got a Lebanon permit, they're probably, we don't have a permit process here in Ulen.
You.
So, but if they have a Lebanon permit, I would say they would be okay to Lebanon's vetted them for safety reasons. Or we could, if we wanna talk to Bob about, or figure out if there's an ordinance that we wanna add to our records that says, talks about soliciting, we can definitely do that too.
I would probably suggest that we like put that as a possible topic when we need to do an amendment. After we've kind of worked through some of the other things instead of.
Yeah, doing one at a time.
I just don't ever answer.
Yeah, Lisa, we'll look into trying to add that. Something and where we can put a sign out in the neighborhood.
Okay. And then my only other question is, now that we have these nicely resurfaced roads, do we have any sort of contract with anyone to like sweep, whatever you want to call it, our roads like, the city does? I don't know how often they do, but
The city, yes, we contract the city to come through in the spring and the fall.
okay.
To do that, and then the gentleman we just hired to do the landscaping, we've talked to him about maintaining the kind of the curb to the road where, sometimes we have weeds and grass grow, if you would keep an eye on that and try to maintain those in
Okay,
front of people. Because some people just don't do that. So that's gonna be part of the landscape.
great. Thank you.
Any other questions from folks online?
I have a question.
Sue,
Okay. I would like to know if the 3 or 4 of you would drive down Elm Swamp Road behind our houses and just look at people's houses and see what that backyard looks like. I know that there are one that needs some assistance. And probably they can't do it themselves, is what I figure. What is the responsibility of the town to get it cleaned up?
I think now that we have the ordinances that you have to keep your
Yeah.
lawn neat and clean and mowed, and I think now we could send the homeowner a letter that basically points out the condition, and if they don't do it, then we will hire somebody to do it, and we can file a lien on their property, as I recall,
Yeah,
Well,
which we didn't have before, but
it's
Yeah.
bad.
yeah.
Mine will look better, I swear. We're getting a living fence planted. I'm just waiting for that to happen next month. So,
This is looking really good, Lisa.
well, we took down a lot of dead trees, but we're gonna get some junipers planted back there because I'm sure the neighbors don't like looking at my firewood and I don't like looking at their trash cans, so. It's,
But I do, I mean, it's,
Yeah, I'm aware
yeah,
of
and
that.
I think there's a tree down back there. I know the property you referenced since it's between us. I think there's a tree or at least a giant limb down there from a tree that has
Yeah.
fallen kind of on our property.
yes. Yes, I mean, really, Ulen is a beautiful town. And if you would be driving just in Lebanon and you'd look over on this side, it looks awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Yeah.
So now that we have an ordinance,
We can enforce it.
yeah,
And we should.
we just didn't have any teeth to do anything.
Yeah.
okay, well, you have teeth now.
All right. We probably need to get a letter generated and sent to it. That'll be the start. Yep. Anybody else? Any other new business? If not, then entertain a motion to
Adjourn?
adjourn. Motion and second.
Thank you.
Adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks.
Very interesting.
Thank you.